So, hi everyone. Thanks Marco for having us, and of course Axel Springer NOAH. A short update on AUTO1, and then I will talk about something exciting today. So, AUTO1, for the few here who don't know us, we are the marketplace and platform for used car trade in Europe. We have several brands in the consumer space. For example, wir kaufen ein Auto in Germany. We operate a network of our own branches where we purchase cars, and we operate the biggest network for dealers where they can buy in the B2B segment from us. The latest numbers we've disclosed is 2.2 million euros revenues in 2017. We sold 420,000 cars. It was a nice growth curve. We're only around for a little more than 5 years. And I think what we're really proud of is that we have managed to grow our dealer network pretty much every day, and also the consumers that interact with us. So if you look at the network, you see that pretty much everybody in Europe and everywhere, not only in the capitals, not only in the big cities, even on some islands where some people ask themselves, how do we get the cars there, are buying from us. And yeah, I think if you have a good product and if you have a really good offering, then there is no reason why B2B customers wouldn't repeat, because for a B2B use case, I think finding the right partner, finding the right supplier is such a high challenge that if you have one, you just stick to it. And under this, if you want a vision, I want to talk about financial services. And when you think about financial services, today everybody thinks about KYC. Oh, there's a lot of regulation, there's a lot of paperwork. Of course there is. And you have to do your homework and you have to tick the boxes. But does it really create value? Know your customer, fine. Do you know your customer better? Will you make more money? Do you know the name of the grandmother? Will it give you any revenue? No. So you tick the box. The way we look at it is KYCP. So what does it mean? Know your customer's pain. That is how we look at financial services and say, what is actually our customer's pain when it comes to financing? And I will tell you, and many of you won't believe, how burdensome it is for all of our dealer partners to refinance their stock with their existing banks that they're working with. So if a car dealer buys a car from us today, it's very simple. He goes on AUTO1. We are #1 supplier. He can buy a car. Done. So he goes to his accounting department and says, we bought this car. We need this car. Please wire the money. Or if it's a smaller business, usually the boss will handle the treasury. So he will send us the money. We will receive the money. We will process it and say, OK, everything's fine. We send out the car title. We send out the car, or he can pick it up. And now this payment is done 100% equity, because this dealer actually needs to work from his day-to-day cash flow, from his business account. Only after day 9, when he really has everything and the whole process is settled, he can turn around to his credit specialist and say, hey, I have a new car, and this is really done car by car, and I want this refinanced. And we say, OK, fine. It's an automated process. He will enter the serial number and say, this is what I bought, and we'll just say, OK, send us the documents. So again, he's mailing a paper title, and this is really in every European country. It's happening thousands and thousands of times a day. You wouldn't believe it. And then he sends it to the bank, and they receive a letter in the mail. They open it, they process it, and then they say, OK, fine, we have plausibilized this. This is what we do. This is the car. This is the matching numbers, and we send him the money. And at the end of the day, yeah, he gets his money back. So now he has a car on the lot that is refinanced. But for 15 days, and it can even take longer, he had to use his equity. So how is this guy supposed to scale if it's an SME, if this inefficiency is in the market? How would he grow if he needs to grow his post-tax equity base just to buy more stock? He could be as successful as he wants, but if he doesn't have the equity, he cannot grow. and it's super inefficient for him. So we looked at the process and said, how else can you do this? How are other people doing this? And where's the breakage point? Why doesn't it work? What is broken in the system? And the answer is trust. No external bank will lend this dealer partner of ours money without having the actual security. And we said we need to step in. Let's shorten this and bring it to day zero financing. So what does day zero financing mean? We've sold the car, fine. The dealer is on our platform. He has a new button, and it says, finance the car. And AUTO1 FinTech, which is the new company that we built for this, knows that the title is there. It's all electronically saved. Transfers the money to us, and we trust them that they will transfer it. And he can have the car on day one or even day zero. So what we've done is we've replaced these 15 days of the most inefficient use of capital with 0 days. And that will be another point and another value that we want to create for our partners, because we're solving this. We want to be better than everybody else. We want to do this at market or better rates. But we really save them the hassle of receiving the mail, going to the mail, and doing a lot of work. Now, when you think about this, as you've seen our revenues, this can become very, very big. And when you think about financial services, it's not only pure finance. There's always an insurance component. There's always a retail component. There's a lot of things. So we thought, who's the best partner for us in Europe where we can grow this together? And for us, it was very clear, and I'm very happy to announce that we have built a partnership with Deutsche Bank and Allianz. And we've all invested in AUTO1 FinTech. And we, together, will now build this company and make sure that our dealer partners all over Europe, so we're not only in Germany, we'll roll this out in France, we'll roll this out in Poland, and then there are more and more companies and countries on the pipeline, that all of us together want to give the best experience, the best access to capital markets, the best innovative insurance products. And that's why I want to invite the colleagues from Deutsche Bank and Allianz on stage, please.
Hello. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark.
Congratulations. You know, champions and challengers work together.
That's true. Hakan, thank you for the show. Thank you for the presentation.
I think we should do an applause.
Thanks.
So maybe before we start, a couple of sentences from our side. My name is Nassim. I'm with Allianz X. My colleague Nina, also with Allianz X, and James from Deutsche Bank. 2 sentences to say here. We are really excited to be part of this journey because we see a lot of potential in the used car market, and Hakan has proven that this market can also be digitized and basically reinvented. And we're looking forward to be part of this reinvention game in digitizing the customer journey used car market. And we as Allianz, we're looking forward to really working together with AUTO1 and Deutsche Bank and providing insurance solutions that are customer-centric, that are convenient, and further initiating and accelerating the growth of AUTO1.
And I think from the DB side, I'd echo that. Partnerships are a really important part of our digital strategy, and equally partnering with great German businesses is a really important thing for the bank. We think we can bring a link to the capital markets for the business, and frankly, we hope to make a bit of money too.
Right.
When will the first revenues come?
Sorry?
The first revenues.
When will the first revenues come?
So we already started this a little bit silently end of last year. And until then, this whole flow was just a hypothesis. We were just like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could shorten 15 days to 0? And on paper, it all makes sense. And then there was that one day where I said, OK, now we have that product. And AUTO1 has built that subsidiary and said, OK, let's try it. And I was really a little bit afraid because I was pitching this very hard and said, I hope it works. But then the dealer said, oh, what a great idea. And we saw, if you want, so even extra revenues on the AUTO1 business. Because if you have more liquidity and if you have also less pain, less hassle in actually doing your day-to-day business, then you're also inclined to do more business with us.
So dealers like you again?
Of course. They've always liked us, I hope.
So how was it, Hakan? How painful was it with dealing with these huge German companies? How long did the talks take from the first approach to getting it done?
So that's the secret recipe, first of all. Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, it's on the one hand the institutions and what their strategic agenda is and how they're focusing on SMEs and digital and retail and automotive. But on the other hand, it's also, of course, the people. I mean, we have been working on this for nearly a year, to be honest.
Okay.
Really day to day and looking at how can we solve this, how will this be handled, what is exclusive, how do we roll it out, what is the real plan that we all agreed to. I think that's the important part. At the end of the day, it's not the logos that you see there. It's more, it's a bunch of people who have a vision and say, okay, this really sounds great, we've got the backing, let's do it.
Wonderful. Well, I think it's fantastic because we can conquer the world alone, but it's much easier to conquer it with strong partners who fix problems in an industry which has been so wrong for so long. So reducing the working capital requirements for the dealer is absolutely key. What's your view on AUTO1? Is it your first experience working with a startup? Obviously, you picked the biggest one, but...
We're very proud that we could now pick the biggest one, and automotive is a very important field for insurance, of course, but we are really looking forward to now create integrated customer journeys, including insurance products, but really innovative ones, together with AUTO1, as Nassim said, as part of a fully digitalized customer journey.
Since you have done this one now, is there appetite for more creative partnerships with the digital world? What type of industries or segments are you looking for? Maybe we start with Deutsche Bank.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, it's a critical part of how we tackle the digitization of our business. There's some things which big banks like Deutsche Bank do very well. There are some things which, frankly, we need partners to access technology, to access new markets, to access new ideas. So I think you can expect more activity from us going forward.
Okay. Come to NOAH, you find a lot of great companies here to partner with. Sure. Hakan was already 4 years ago, I think, for the first time. Well, thank you very much. And Hakan inspires a lot of people, not only us, but also his shareholders. So, well, thank you. And if Jaron and Alex are coming on stage.
No, I think it's Shmuel and
Alex. Shmuel, I'm sorry, blanking.
And Lucas.
And Lucas also. Okay, thank you so much.
You're staying? Yeah? You're an advisor to the fund. I saw it on the deck somewhere.
Okay, yeah, running over time, but that's fine. You do it for some. Have to, I guess. Yeah, Alex, maybe you start. We have like 2 minutes.
I will. Let's do the video quickly.
Video?
That would, you know, explain very, much quicker than I do, Shmuel.
Yeah. Watch our NOAH trailer. We love video
too. And then,
too.
We can quickly comment.
Okay, go for it.
That the auto industry will change more in the next 5 to 10 years than it has in the last 50.
Beautiful. The 5 and 50 years was also something Porsche talked about. So,
no, exactly. Listen, I mean, Dara talked about this today and yesterday. Many people alluded today to the mobility revolution, and
we also truly believe that it's no more the question whether it's going to happen, the shift to autonomous, in all sorts of segments. It's the question of when exactly and who would be benefiting from that. And that's why, our the mobility fund we are launching with, two simple premises of, being evergreen, trying to support the startups for, as long as they need, being independent from any of the strategic players, and also focusing on Germany and Israel, two sort of interesting hubs. One very, great in the business model innovation and having so many strategics, and another one with technology.
Are you becoming an automotive expert, Shmuel?
I know how to drive, which counts. I think that, as Alex said, automotive theme dovetails well with a lot of the things that Israel is strong at traditionally. So AI, semiconductors, cybersecurity. There's a very big ecosystem, companies like Mobileye, like Argus. So great companies have been created, and Germany is the home of the car. It's been invented here. It's a big part of the economy here, and we are a fund that's native in both ecosystems, so it's natural for us to take this as a big theme for the years going forward.
What are you thinking about all this, Lukas?
Hello, Marco. Hi, Marco. How are you? I'm thinking mobility is great. We all need to move around. And not only us need to move around, also we need to move things. So it's people and things. And then it's getting more and more like digital and like more like software and stuff with network effects. So also for financial people like you, it's an interesting field.
Yeah, I mean, mobility is the big segment today. Tomorrow we have fintech. So mobility and fintech are our strongest segments at the moment. It used to be like travel, e-commerce. Those are kind of, I wouldn't say done, but further advanced. And I think mobility is, and is already, the next big thing. For our attendees, what is the check size you're looking to invest? Are there any no segments, countries? Give us some practical pointers.
Very practical. Anywhere in Europe or Israel, even if the company is located elsewhere, if you have meaningful business here, we are in. As early as seed, 1 million would be the start. Going to growth with 20 to 30 million per company, both in high tech related to automotive cars and all the supplies, but also marketplaces, as great as AUTO1. We have announced the first investment today of the fund in Karubi. That is another aspiring marketplace in after sales, and we want to do more of the similar platform plays, not only deep tech.
And really on a practical note, we have our colleague here, Ben Kaminsky, who's going to be running the fund. And if you want someone who actually understands automotive, you should talk to him.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much.